Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm not wearing a Dora the Explorer hat, so I'm not that crazy.
Hey, that live action one's going to be way better than something else that we saw live action.
It does look fire, and that is facts. I actually was going to say something else, and I don't even remember what it was now because I'm just trying to figure out your outfit. What's going on here?
Well, episode 99. I rock 99 jersey. You know what
we
I'm
don't
saying?
have any 99 jerseys laying around here.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
We literally have one right here.
I'm just like, I can't fit in that one.
That's true.
And then as I went to another room, I saw this hat just sitting around. And I said, ooh, Jumanji hat. I'm going to wear that.
It is a Jumanji hat.
Yeah.
Jumanji remake was very underrated. I thought it was entertaining.
I refused to watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I had my reservations about it.
It was still good?
I mean, I had zero expectations, so I was
in the game. The game not out the game. The game got to be out the game. You know what I'm saying?
I enjoyed it. I found it like a tolerable movie watch, which I find, which is like,
Yeah, I check. When you put Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the same movie, you're tricking me. You're making me think I'm gonna see something good. So I'm like, you ain't got to. I'll watch HBO.
I mean, what is good? All right, let's start the show.
Okay.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
Welcome to the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast. I'm Joy Taylor, that's Brandon Newman. We will talk more about movies later. We are going to talk about The Lion King because we have to talk about The Lion King.
We have to.
We have some thoughts.
Shut up.
Zeke is not at camp. He has decided to go to Cabo instead, which admittedly is more pleasant than being at NFL training camp.
Well, sand-resistant training and things of that sort.
I don't think that it's the same kind of training.
Okay.
Like if your options are go to Cabo and train or go to training camp.
Right.
But you're losing money in Cabo. Anyway, we'll get to that. The Clippers might change their name. Carmelo Anthony would like a farewell tour like Dwayne Wade and Dirk got. LeBron has everyone very upset because they've never been to an AAU game. U.S. Soccer has some statements out there. Some are true, some are inaccurate. We'll see you in court, I think is the bottom line there. We all picked the wrong profession. I really should have gotten sharper at my Crash Bandicoot skills.
Man!
Which is, admittedly, my all-time favorite video game.
And also, great game. Top 5 game, period. I fell off with the Halo. I couldn't shoot. It's too many joysticks.
Exactly.
Right?
I need just the 2 buttons here.
GoldenEye. I need GoldenEye. I need lock in.
What really happened was I started to have bills to pay. So
Right.
Which is why everyone is winning is 15. Lion King, as we mentioned, and of course, NFL season is officially here. Training camp has started, and right now we are going to give you our crazy or maybes for the entire NFL. And let's get started, shall we?
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
Let's start with the AFC North. Your Baltimore Ravens are going to be crazy running this year.
Oh, come on now.
So Harbaugh has already said there's no limit to the amounts. I'm paraphrasing here, but basically they're going to run Lamar Jackson a lot, which they did last year. He had 147 carries last year, rushed for 695 yards. That's the most attempts by a quarterback since the AFL-NFL merger.
Okay.
And he completed 58.2% of his passes for 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's not a good margin of touchdown to interception ratio there. Okay. Anyway, my point is, very quickly, I think it's going to be too much. I'd rather them try and develop him in the pocket. I don't think it's sustainable. Love watching Lamar Jackson. He's fun, but I also want to watch Lamar Jackson. He's fun, so develop him in the pocket a little bit.
I say the Ravens may be the most interesting team in the AFC North.
Oh, my God.
Then what's your joy? There's a quarterback who has won the Heisman, who is reinventing the game of football as we speak by demanding you to pay attention to his legs like Mike Vick did in the past. But now we got Hollywood Brown over the top. We got Miles Boykin, Notre Dame pipeline. There's weapons for him to throw the ball to. Willie Snead, Ball State, shouts out. There's weapons to throw the ball. They're going to air it out. Lamar Jackson is going to become a true quarterback this season, and therefore they're going to be more interesting than not because everyone's going to be like, oh, how are they winning? Oh, look at the box score. Oh, Lamar Jackson ran for less yards than he threw for? This is new.
I think they're going to win a game more than the Bengals. Speaking of the Bengals, they are going to be crazy blah. I mean, what can you say about the Bengals? They're the Bengals.
Maybe the worst team in the NFL.
That's really maybe the worst team in the NFL.
Maybe
they might be. I don't know if they're. Yeah, probably. All right. So the Cleveland Browns, crazy content. You are wrong about them being the most interesting team in the AFC North. The Browns are the most interesting team in the AFC North.
Okay.
We're going to get content from them every day of the week. With Odell, Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, Baker Mayfield. Freddie
Yeah, okay,
Kitchens,
say his name.
all
Yep.
of Cleveland's. It's going to be great. I'm very excited for it. I look forward to whatever it is they're bringing for us this year. And, of course, they also have expectations for the first time in the history of the franchise.
You like to remind people of that?
Well, you know.
Yeah. The Rivers. The Browns might be the NFL's guilty pleasure.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's not might be crazy.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. I've messed that up. Maybe the Browns are the NFL's guilty pleasure. I think regardless.
Ooh, I like that.
Right? Because, like, regardless of. I'm a Ravens fan, and it's going to be hard to root against Baker Mayfield and bringing Odell Beckham back into relevancy and possibly, like, running for a championship. Like, it's going to be hard not to root for that team. Everyone's going to be watching them. They're going to be on all the primetime games. They have all the primetime games because they have all hard games. They could be 0-8 and still be one of the most interesting teams
Oh
in
my
the NFL.
God, they will be the most interesting team if they're
Yeah,
0-8 because it's going to be
it's guilty pleasure.
insanity.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, speaking of expectations, Pittsburgh Steelers are crazy doubted. They're going to win this division. I do think that they are not going to win a championship this year, and I don't think they're going to win a championship for the rest of Ben Roethlisberger's
Interesting.
tenure with the Steelers because I believe that you need to have talent to win a championship. A balance of talent and culture and skill and veterans. And I just think there was a complete culture breakdown with the Steelers last year, and they missed the playoffs. So, for all that talk about how you don't need Le'Veon Bell and you don't need a running back and all that stuff, and James Conner was great, but he wasn't Le'Veon Bell because they missed the playoffs. And you can argue what you will about it, but those are the facts. They didn't have him, and they missed the playoffs. We can play the maybe game all day. That's the side that I'm choosing to take on it. Yeah. However, I do think that they will win the division, make the playoffs, and they're not going to win a championship, though. But I think everyone is sleeping on them. Like, everyone's giving this division to the Browns, and for some reason you feel like the Ravens are in that, which they're not.
I mean, it's AFC
but
North.
it is the Steelers division.
Opposite takes here. Steelers may be dangerous. If you really think about it, every time the Steelers have won a championship, it's been times where they didn't have an all-star offensive weapon. It was just the team. The best part about the team was the defense.
Yeah, but do they have a dope defense this year? Like all-time Steelers level defense?
I mean, I like Bud. Like they've drafted some good players. I think Ben's doing different things than he's ever done. He's signing autographs after camp. He's back to like rookie year Ben.
He is evolving a little bit. Let's hope that's not the case, though.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
So the AFC East, let's start with the Buffalo Bills. Just crazy terrible. I have zero faith in the Bills this year. I don't know how they got tremendously better. Oh, we're falling? Okay.
I've been feeling little earthquakes. Can we talk about that?
What? Was there an earthquake today? Because I got very dizzy on set. I really thought I got dizzy. I was going to faint. And then, like,
Yes.
I looked around, like, to check on everyone, and everyone seemed normal, so I didn't want to make a big deal and seem weird.
Earlier today in the apartment, a ball was just sitting on and it just rolled to the other side of the apartment.
Oh, yeah, that's a ghost. Okay, anyway, so the Bills.
Ghost, earthquakes, you know what I mean, whatever. Yeah.
So what do you think of the Bills?
Bills maybe lead the league in rushing. They have Sean McCoy, Frank Gore, TJ Yeldon. They just got they just drafted a running back that's pretty good. I think with Josh Allen had over 600 yards rushing last year. I think that team as a whole could just lead the league in rushing because they need Josh Allen to stop throwing the ball a little bit.
They do need that to happen.
Just
I mean, I just don't think Josh Allen is the guy, and that's why I say they're going to be terrible. All right, the Dolphins, crazy new. All right, so they have a new coach.
Yes.
From the Patriots, Brian Flores.
Yep.
I'm very excited about. They have Josh Rosen, who I think will be the sleeper player in the year in the league this year.
Yeah,
Ashley
like
seems
that.
to think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be the starter, and it seems that Brian Flores is leaning that way too, which I hate and I hope does not happen because I don't see the point of starting Ryan Fitzpatrick in the same way that I didn't see why they didn't start Baker Mayfield. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. You have a young quarterback. He needs to get reps. He needs to develop. Don't have him sitting on the bench behind Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not the future of the Dolphins. So hopefully they do all the right things, but they do have a lot of new going on, and I'm excited to see it.
I say the Dolphins maybe have a franchise quarterback in your boy, Josh Rosen. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is the perfect foil to force Rosen to capitalize on every opportunity he has to throw the ball while he has a chance. They just fired the offensive line coach earlier in camp, and that kind of proves that they have an asset that they like to protect in Rosen. I kind of believe in Rosen. And with him and Sam Darnold, the rest of these guys just sitting back, learning from Tom Brady in the AFC East until he leaves, whenever that happens. But yeah, I think they got a franchise quarterback.
Chosen Rosen.
Yeah.
All right, Patriots. Crazy old. They are the oldest team in the NFL. They have an average age of 26.82. Which is not that old.
It's so crazy that that's the oldest.
But that's yeah.
And it is the oldest. That's old.
Brady kind of pulls that curve a little bit,
sure.
Being an old man. But that said, they're still going to win the division, and they'll likely end up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I said the Patriots may be monopolizing the NFL. That's basically my
Well,
take.
you know what scares me about Tom Brady is that he always knows when stuff is coming. Like that's a testament to his greatness. He doesn't stay in whatever his game is.
Mm-hmm.
He evolves and he pays attention to trends. And I mean, he's the greatest of all time, and they're not done yet. Like they're going to win the division again. So the Jets, crazy New York. So we'll get to the Giants in a little bit, but they're not New York's team. The Jets are New York's team. They've got Sam Darnold. They got Le'Veon Bell. They got a couple other good pieces. I am very skeptical of Adam Gase, even though he did pull off a miracle in Miami. I don't know how he truly is as a head coach. And this year, we're going to get to find out because he can't argue about the quarterback talent and he can't argue about the running back talent. And they have a pretty decent defense. So I do think that they are New York's team, and they're going to be fun to watch. Sam Darnold seems to think that they have a chance of making the playoffs. I disagree, but I like the optimism.
Okay. Jets may be Le'Veon Bell's worst nightmare. He forced himself out of the historically one of the best ran franchises in NFL history, in football history, with the Steelers, and got pushed into the exact opposite of that with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of variables, the offensive line with the Steelers, that helped him do his thing. I don't know if Le'Veon Bell's going to be happy that he set out at the end of the season.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right, the AFC South, the Texans, crazy wild card.
Ooh.
I think the Texans are another sleeper team this year.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, the thing that does make me worry about them is their offensive line is not very good. And by not very good, I mean they're the worst in the league.
Okay, yeah,
they're rated literally the worst in the league by Pro Football Focus. If that means anything to you, which it should, because they are very extensive with their statistics. However, their defense is the third best defense in the league. So while they're sort of unbalanced in the trenches, I do love Deshaun Watson. I'm hoping that he takes another step up this year, and I like the Texans overall.
The Texans may be Super Bowl contenders if they found a running game. That's Lamar Miller being their number one go-to guy. Obviously, we talked about the offensive line not being that great. I have all the variables to win the AFC period straight up, but no running game. Offensive line's a part of that.
Could be a hole there. All right, so the Colts, crazy luck.
Double entendre.
Yes. So
Word
Andrew
devices.
Luck is injured again. He has a calf injury.
What?
He will not be playing in the preseason opener. He is out for the rest of this week. Apparently, this is a calf injury that has lingered for 3 months. And let's take a look-see at his injuries. All right. 2014, right shoulder, missed 2 games. 2015, lacerated kidney, sounds painful, 7 games missed. 2016, a concussion, missed 1 game. And obviously 2017, he had a right shoulder injury and missed 16 games, aka the whole season.
Whole thing.
So this gives me pause. Obviously, Andrew Luck is that entire team. We've seen that time and time again.
Right.
I just listed his injuries. They were terrible when he is gone. So if he is healthy, which is a major if, but if he is healthy, I think they will win the division. I think they were great last year. They needed a few pieces here and there, and obviously Andrew Luck is trying to get back in the fold last year. So I'm optimistic about them only if Andrew Luck is healthy.
Okay, I like that.
Which seems like an obvious, but like they're going to be, they're either going to be a playoff / Super Bowl contender or one of the worst teams in the league. Like, that's just how it works with the Colts.
I said the Colts may be the best boring team in the NFL.
They're incredibly boring, yes.
Yeah, it's just like the Darius Leonard, defense player of the year, linebacker, all the tackles ever. Andrew Luck, I don't know, read a book. You know what I mean? The Colts, they're football guys. They just want to play football. I don't even know if they care about winning. They just want to play football.
I am okay with reading books, but
Right, yes, of
you know,
course. Shouts out to
Andrew
reading.
Luck is boring. Like, we know it, and he doesn't care. He is okay with being boring, and he has a neck beard and all that. So the Jaguars, I mean, crazy Foles. All right,
Okay.
I feel a little weird saying this, but I'm kind of rooting for the Jags this year, just a little bit, just. Cause Nick Foles, that's my dude, man. Like, I really almost felt like the Eagles should have kept him, but I know that sounds crazy, but like, I kind of low-key do though. So I'm rooting for them because I know everyone doubts him severely, and he's just like a mediocre quarterback. And I mean, dude won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No.
And like, the Jags have talent, and the whole argument with Philadelphia was that they're squad. So I'm low key, extremely low, very low, rooting for the Jags, just a tiny little bit. But I do think the Colts win this division.
I think I am too. But shouts out to Blake Bortles. We gotta,
No, I don't have to do that. You can do that if you feel like you need to do
Blake
that.
Bortles.
Dude loves throwing to the other team. He loves it. It's almost like they fundamentally taught him when he was playing football that it's an option to throw to the other team.
I mean, if you got a football guy at quarterback, you got to shout him out. So, anyways, think Blake Bortles. Shouts out. Jaguars may be retiring Nick Foles' jersey. We kind of same take, but different. Same take, but different.
Sounds same.
He just. You gotta root for.
I'm rooting for Nick Foles.
Yeah, blank Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know what the Blake is about. So the Titans, just crazy injuries. I feel like the Titans are always that team. It's like, on paper, interesting. And then the season starts and you're like, there's the Titans. Like, what are they thinking? Like, they have cool colors, it's Nashville. But Mariota's always hurt, and now they have Tannehill, which, I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry has a calf injury. There's just a lot of injuries and question marks with the Titans. I don't know what to expect from them this year.
Titans maybe.
Okay. Well,
I didn't know I need to do that.
you don't actually snore like that, right?
I don't. I don't know. I'll record myself. I'll bring it in. I'll record myself.
Yourself, but you do snore.
I don't know.
Oh. I sleep with my eyes open.
Okay, that is an issue. That needs to be. Have you seen a doctor?
I mean, literally.
Joy sleeping with her eyes open is like so on brand.
It is on brand. I actually have no. I have no problem with it. It doesn't. I don't snore, but I don't. But I sleep with my eyes open, and I don't. It's never bothered me.
Mouth open too. You said that.
Oh, I sleep with my mouth open when I'm on the plane. So, I don't. So it's eyes closed, mouth open on the plane. So it's more like this.
Is it?
And then I lean. So I'm a leaner.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right, AFC West. The Broncos are crazy elite. Had to do it. So Flacco's entering his 12th season. I'm actually kind of low-key rooting for Flacco also. I'd like to stop talking badly about John Elway and his quarterback decisions. So
yes,
I would like
fair.
for Flacco to pan out in some way or the other. We're done talking about Peyton Manning. Like that. Those days have passed. So I'm kind of rooting for Flacco this year.
The Broncos, maybe Joe Flacco is still good at quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe he's still good.
Maybe it's still good. I don't know. Well, we'll see. All right, the Chiefs, crazy fun. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to be a little different this year. They lost Justin Houston. They traded D Ford, added Frank Clark. Tyreek Hill got carted off from camp today, but it's apparently a thigh bruise, and he'll be fine. Thigh bruise is hurt, man.
Yeah, that's a huge, just moving a little bit, just.
They're awful.
You need that.
So the Chiefs, I still have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and I'm very excited about them this year. I was obviously, with everyone else, like incredibly disappointed about the way that Patriots game ended. Yeah. But I do think they win this division, which is a very, very hard division, actually. It might be the hardest division in the NFL, which may be on the Chiefs.
Maybe the laziest Super Bowl pick. Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. It's all the people. It's all the things they bring back. D Ford. If you don't line up off sides, they could. Yeah, all that bull crap. Yeah, lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Chargers are crazy little bro. So they're just little bro.
Wait, crazy what?
Crazy little bro. Like they're the
little
Clippers.
Bro. So crazy little bro.
Little bro.
Okay.
They're.
You made it one verb. I was
little
making
bro.
sure.
Little bro.
Okay. Yeah.
They're crazy little bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And. Like, they're good. They're just good every year, but they're just good every year. You know what I mean? Like, they're just good every year.
It's
and then they're just good every year.
Yeah. And you're just like, you expect them to be good, but you know it means nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
they're
they
just
win.
good every year. And then, so they're little bro.
I say the Chargers, maybe Phillip Rivers goes out on the high notes.
What's a high
Rivers.
note?
I mean, like, he could like Super Bowl appearance. Like a Super Bowl appearance.
What? For the Chargers, I would be, and this is no just the Chargers because like they're good every year, but and I have nothing against the Chargers, and I think Philip Rivers is a very interesting character.
I want to say
he wears a bolo tie. I mean, who does that?
I want to say there are much better football-y takes that we could have on the Chargers.
Yeah,
but they're just good every year. And it's just not worth it.
It is. All right, so the Raiders are crazy. I had to think long and hard about what team I was going to make crazy. And then like when I got to the Raiders, I was like, obviously the Raiders are crazy. I mean, when you think about the Raiders, it's crazy.
Yes.
This will be the greatest Hard Knocks in the history of Hard Knocks. They're very pissed that Hard Knocks is there. Like they
should be.
I mean, most teams are pissed, but they don't actually say they're pissed that Hard Knocks is there. They literally yeah, we did not want Hard Knocks here. No. Like we know you don't want Hard Knocks here.
We're so bad we had to. We couldn't say no.
I mean, who? I did want them to do them in 2 years whenever they move to Vegas because they don't do a team once they've moved or they have a first year head coach or whatever. So I would have wanted them to do the Vegas because I do want to see what's going on in Vegas. Right. But I'm happy with it this year because there's a lot going on. It's going to be wild on Hard Knocks, and of course Antonio Brown, and then he shows up in a hot air balloon, and then all of a sudden he's on the non-injury list. I'm literally texting my friend MJ. She reports for NFL Network for them. I'm like, what happens? Please give me information. What's going on? She was like, I don't know either. We literally just found out. But yeah, so they're going to be fun this year, and they're going to be crazy and not going to be good. But
it's just maybe the best season of Hard Knocks. So same, but different take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right. The NFC North.
Woo! We in here.
All right, so the Bears are going to be crazy decent.
Come on.
Crazy decent. Obviously, they have a great defense.
Yes.
I don't believe in Mitch Trubisky.
Did you not watch last season?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. Right. I did watch last season. But I just think this division is very good, and they're going to have to be great this year. And I'll get to my takes later, but on the rest of the teams in this division. Yeah. But that's what I think. They're going to be crazy decent.
Okay. Bears may be a Super Bowl team. Very cut and dry. Maybe a.
You feel like Mitch Trubisky can win a Super Bowl? Super
Bowl team. By the end of the season, they were the top 5 teams to watch in the NFL just on excitement and offensive.
Excitement doesn't win you Super Bowls.
Interest in but they were knocking on the door. He didn't have a bad rookie season period, and now this year, and I think he's going to continue. We're going to be watching them deeper in the playoffs than we ever have at this point in time.
Crazy decent. Decent is good. All right, Lions. Crazy useless. I have no use for the Lions. Yeah. I don't think, as I've said many times, I don't believe that the Lions get enough credit for being as bad as they have been traditionally.
Yes,
I think that the Browns have owned the space of dumpster fire and drama.
Yeah.
And because their fire burns so bright, they dim what the Lions have miraculously, almost miraculously accomplished with the level of bad. And the way that they have handled their greats is pretty remarkable.
Abysmal.
So that's what they are. I mean, I
think the reason why no one comes for the Lions like that because people are really scared of Detroit. And they should be.
I do think
don't come out your mouth too crazy about Detroit.
Real talk.
Yeah.
I do think that has something to do with it.
Right, because they might have scared of Cleveland.
And listen, I'm not either.
Yeah.
My grandparents lived in Detroit.
Yeah,
I've been to Detroit
many
times. I've spent
Donnie from the D. Shuts out.
A lot of my childhood in Detroit. So I feel you. And I think that you are actually exactly right.
Okay. Lions may be worth watching on defense. Picking up Mike Daniels.
That was a big pickup for them.
He's a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so I'm a huge fan of his. And he's also just
great
in general.
Is really good at football.
Yeah, he's very. Him saying Matt Patricia's a genius, a little nervous.
That's how he feels.
Because he's definitely not. But we'll see what happens. But they'll watch him on defense.
All right, so the Packers, crazy good. I'm not ready to give my Super Bowl prediction yet. I want us to give our Super Bowl predictions. Well, you're welcome to give yours whenever you want to, but I want to wait. I want to wait until camp is over because obviously there's a lot of injuries and stuff that changes in camp.
What?
So I don't want to waste my pick, but I do think the Packers are going to be crazy good. I think that Aaron Rodgers is a new breath of life. He needed a change, okay? I think that sometimes situations, even if you do have a good coach and a good quarterback, sometimes things get stale or tumultuous, whatever. Yeah. But I do think the Packers are going to be good this year. Crazy good.
Okay. My take. Packers may be to Aaron Rodgers what the Rockets are to James Harden. And that's just like a vehicle to score. Just keep doing your thing. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to see him in the Super Bowl ever again.
You don't think that the Packers are ever going to make a Super Bowl again?
With Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Last year I wanted them to, but honestly, I feel like what we're missing in the Aaron Rodgers greatness is how fragile he is. And I think durability is the biggest factor in the NFL that we don't talk about. And if he's not going to be out there, even dragging his leg to throw a bomb, then I can't put any faith in the Packers.
I think everyone's really significantly doubting Aaron Rodgers this year, and that just smells like a recipe for him.
That's fair.
Dumping on that ass. Vikings, crazy defense. Look, here's the thing about the Vikings. I really struggle to enjoy watching the Vikings. And the main reason for that is their quarterback, which, no disrespect, because, get that money, honey. Yeah, but I can't. Their defense is obviously amazing. Their secondary is the 10th in the league. Run defense, 9th in the league. Like, we know they have a good defense, solid defense. That's fun. Obviously, that's what Vikings are known for traditionally.
Keeps them in it.
I like that. I don't think that they are going to do anything like tremendous this year.
I'm trying to have a take that's not biased, but
no, you always advise it.
Well,
I know this person that plays for the Vikings.
Well, it's just, my boy Carmelo, he got an extension, you know what I'm saying? So he there. Harrison Smith is still like just the rock of what white safety should be in the NFL.
Oh
Make a statue of him outside the stadium. And basically, okay, here's my take. Vikings may be the NFC's sleeper team.
Okay,
they're knocking
I can live
on
with that.
the door. They're continuously knocking on the door. One time, someone's going to have to slip and fall, and they're like, oh, we got the Vikings in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, yay! And everybody's like, oh.
I'm not rooting for that.
Sleeper
I
team.
do like their skull clap, though.
Skull. Yeah. Save me on all the gimmicks. Save me on the gimmicks. I did like when the Mountain did it.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right, NFC East, Cowboys, crazy interesting. Can pretty much say that every year. They are going to win the division. And I do think that they are going to be good again this year. I am rooting for the Cowboys because I want Dak to get that money.
Yeah.
And I'm also halfway rooting for them to not pay him, and then he leaves, and then they're terrible for 10 years, which I don't want professionally because it's much better when the Cowboys are good.
True that.
However, I don't understand the silliness with not paying Dak Prescott. I've been on this forever, so I'm not going to repeat myself for the 15 millionth time. But they should just pay him because he has a leverage. He's 32-16 as a starter. I just want you to think about your experience as a Cowboys fan when you had Tony Romo, which probably isn't the best example because for some reason Cowboys fans have this delirious
they still think it was
memory
good.
that it was.
They
why is
liked
that?
it.
Why do they? Why?
They liked it.
I don't.
They saw the extra point and everything.
I don't get it. I will never understand it. I will never understand it. But forget the Tony Romo era. Just that one time that Tony Romo was out and they didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Why would you not pay Dak Prescott? Explain Tony Romo to me, please.
Tony Romo is the clutchest quarterback ever.
Okay. We don't have time for this. All right. What's your maybe? What's your maybe?
Wait a minute. Before I get to my maybe, are you not considering the fact that Zeke's sitting out? Because I was going to go negative.
Well, I said crazy interesting.
Okay.
But I think that they picked up Morris. Like, they're going to figure it out.
Okay.
They're going to figure it out. Like, they still think they're going to win the division, and I think that Zeke is going to come back. Because somebody is going to go to Zeke like, listen, we're actually not going to pay you.
Right.
Like, so you're just going to lose money, and then we're not going to pay you, so you're going to lose extra money. And so for 2 years, you're going to lose money, and then you're going to go somewhere else and maybe get paid, but you're not going to make that money right now. So I do think Zeke's going to come back.
Before the season starts?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, Zeke's really going to sit out this year? That's insane.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking about the turmoil when I was thinking about what my maybe was. I was thinking about the turmoil that came with Zeke sitting out for so long before. How do you really say it?
Turmoil is my favorite new word.
Tomorrow?
You're good.
Tomorrow?
No, it was fine.
That's fine.
The tumultuousness and stuff.
Everyone knows what you meant.
It was bad.
Yes.
It was bad
It
in
was
there.
bad.
So I actually looked at the schedule and I was like, you know what? Cowboys may be going 6-0 to start the season. They start off with the Giants, then the Redskins, then your Dolphins, then the Saints, Packers, Jets. So at worst 4-2. You know what I mean? Like that's a good.
That's good.
That first quarter.
Win-loss.
That first quarter.
So much fun.
I
The Giants, crazy worst. Oh, the Giants. Okay.
Crazy worst.
It's a pin in my claw. All right. Is that what it is?
never heard that before, but
What is it? Splinter?
I don't know what
It's
you're
not
going
splinter
for.
in my claw because that's too long.
I think there's something in your
What's
craw.
the phrase?
Something gets stuck in your craw.
Stuck in my craw?
Yeah.
But there's something in your
I think
claw.
it's crawl.
Whatever. It bothers the shit out of me what the Giants are doing.
Sticks in my craw.
Sticks in my craw.
Yeah,
Crawl.
nothing about
It's
a
not
craw.
claw.
Craw.
There's nothing about a mitt.
I don't know what a craw is, but
Craw
that's
is
what
like
the saying
a
is.
craw, I think. I always just imagine a mouth.
Stuck in the crawl.
Like a big mouth.
We're gonna look this up.
Okay.
While you do that, I'll figure out
The
what the crawl
Giants
is.
are going to be the crazy worst. They're going to be the worst team in the league.
Mm.
First of all, they have all this talk about we don't need Odell, and Eli's going to take a step up now that Odell is gone. I mean, it honestly frustrates me to no other level. Like it's the same thing that's going on with the Steelers last year when everyone was talking about how Antonio Brown needs to shut up and they don't need Le'Veon.
Yeah.
Well, you missed the playoffs, so it sounds cute, but the only thing that gives me faith in the Steelers next year is that Ben Roethlisberger is still there and he was playing at somewhat of a high level.
Right.
Eli Manning, however, no. Like, you're actually going to blame that situation on Odell?
Yeah.
Like, Eli's playing the way that Eli's playing because of Odell?
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, obviously great.
Yes.
Almost kind of wish he wasn't there because
Yes.
they are going to be awful. They have no receivers. They have insane injuries, and now Golden Tate's going to be suspended for the first
Don't,
4 games of the season. Now, I'm not.
I was considering. I was like, should I reach out to Golden after we want to
No.
say his piece about the fertility drug? Some people you got to give. Some people you got to have. He got 2 kids.
Listen, I'm not judging,
get the
okay?
stuff to
And
get
I
the
don't, and I
kids.
think that the testing situation is nonsense. But
Right.
regardless, he's not going to be there the first 4 games.
he's not.
So what? I'm not saying he did steroids. I'm just saying
I mean, yeah.
he's not going to be there, and that's going to affect the Giants' success. So they're going to be the worst team in the league.
Giants may be ending Saquon Barkley's career. I've said that I think Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL, the best running back the NFL has to offer. He was last year. They gave him, he almost averaged like 12 catches a game, just easy things out of the backfield for Eli Manning. It's ridiculous to watch. I love watching Saquon Barkley. I love him with the ball in his hands, but they need to be feeding. It's the NFL. Other people need to be touching the ball to move the ball down the field.
Who?
Not Odell.
Who?
Who?
What is it? Is it craw or claw?
What is the thing?
Okay, so it's stuck. Stick in my craw is the saying.
What is
and
it? Can you spell that last word
Craw.
for the black audience?
Craw.
Like a crawdad minus dad.
Craw. Yeah, sticks in my
Still
craw.
spell it.
Craw. C-R-A-W.
Okay.
Which
Stuck
is
in
the
my craw.
crop of a bird or insect, and a crop is an expanded muscular pouch near the gullet or throat.
See?
You
Mouth.
were right.
Mouth, right?
You did the thing, and I was like,
It's
"What's
like right
you doing?"
here.
So
I
even
just-
though you said
when I
claw,
hear it,
Stuck.
You were
and
correct.
I imagine it being like right here, right?
Yep.
What's the
Okay, but I
sentence?
thought of it. It's
Yep.
thorn in your paw.
Okay, that's not the same thing.
Is
though.
it claw?
It's not
Craw.
But
Craw.
the thorn. It's a thorn in my side. That's what it is.
Thorn in my side is, I think, a saying.
Yeah.
Thorn
How-
in my craw, just the search
Not
results.
claw. All right. The Eagles have crazy pressure this year.
that. I like that crazy. question.
I know that the Eagles are good, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I know they have a good team.
Yep.
And I know everyone's very high on Carson Wentz,
Yep.
but I got to see it this year from Carson Wentz. And in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott are often compared to each other,
Yep.
which is fair. They're in the same division, the
Right.
same year, and they should be compared to each other. And Carson Wentz just got paid,
Yes,
which
he
was
did.
smart because he is injury prone, which is what makes me nervous about Carson Wentz. So the whole conversation about Nick Foles, do we keep him, do we let him go, was because Carson Wentz is often not available. And to me, when you compare someone like Dak to Carson, where, I test Carson Wentz is more talented,
Yes.
you have to
At
be
throwing the football.
available to exert that talent. And he has a lot of injuries.
He has not been there.
So I have trepidation when it comes to Carson Wentz in that regard, but obviously the Eagles are going to be good this year. But they do have, I feel like Carson Wentz has a lot of pressure on him this year.
Yeah, you're
At
right.
least from me.
I agree with you. I think the Eagles may be regretting paying Carson Wentz. At the end of the day, it's a lot of money towards someone where a team that won their first Super Bowl ever with pieces,
Yeah.
something they can't really have. Shouts out to my boy Nate Ollie, defensive line coach for the Eagles. So I'm looking for the Eagles to do well defensively. But I really don't see the Eagles doing anything in that division because, I'd be rooting for the Redskins. Excuse me. I'd be rooting for the R-words before I'm rooting for the Eagles.
No, I would want the Eagles to win before the R words. Speaking of the R words, crazy quarterbacks. All right, let's see. Case Keenum,
Ooh.
Colt McCoy, Dwayne Haskins, and Alex Smith. Obviously, Alex Smith is going through a tremendous rehab
Yes.
process with that injury. He may never even play again. But obviously, I want to see Dwayne Haskins. But are we going to see Dwayne Haskins? And it's still the R words at the end of the day. So are they going to be functional? I think it's the last year for that coach, and I don't have high expectations for the R words this year.
Hot take. Redskins may be the culture's team of the future with Dwayne Haskins. If Dwayne Haskins has the type of year that Dak Prescott had when he was kind of forced in and never get taken off the field because he just makes the right play over and over again, he says all the right things. He seems like the prototype quarterback that can make things happen and make plays. I'm ready to see Dwayne Haskins do his thing in the NFL.
Yeah, me too, if they put him out there.
He's going to earn his position. Joe Theismann, Notre Dame great, gave up his number in the right cultural move like he was supposed to him. So they're going to put that number out there.
That did happen.
Joe Theismann didn't give up his number just to see him on the bench.
That's true. He would not appreciate that.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right, the NFC South. Let's start with the Falcons. Crazy, okay. I mean, I think it's the Falcons. You had your chance and you blew it. And I like the Falcons, and I wish the Falcons were just a little bit better than they are. Yeah. And Julio Jones is obviously a tremendous talent, and we all love watching him play.
Ridley, Sanu.
Like Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, but it always just feels like there's just 1% missing there with the Falcons.
Always.
And I also don't think they can get over that Super Bowl loss, to be honest with you.
Last year they proved they struggled to try to get over it.
Well,
but they have so many weapons on offense, and Matt Ryan is MVP level quarterback, can be, but maybe the Falcons are the NFC Bengals. You know?
Ooh, that's harsh.
Yeah.
All right, Panthers, crazy Phoenix, not Arizona. I think this is Cam Newton's year.
Woo,
He's being doubted a lot.
I'm listening.
Get a lot of trash talk, a lot of forgetting about the athlete that Cam Newton is.
Yes.
A lot of extra critics. I think this could be Cam Newton's year. I think they win the division. And so it's a Phoenix rising from the ashes.
I like that.
I probably could have picked something easier to explain.
It's Cam Newton. He's second year nerve turner. I like all that. Panthers maybe have an MVP candidate in Christian McCaffrey. When the NFL is getting smaller, quicker, faster, I trust Christian McCaffrey right now, especially the production he's done, and he's reinventing white boy in the NFL as a whole. So I'm all in on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Saints, crazy petty. I am hoping that the Saints get over this nonsense with the call. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon, but I do want to see Drew Brees win an MVP. I do want to see Drew Brees play in another Super Bowl and win another Super Bowl. And I want them to get over this nonsense with the bad call. I'm tired of hearing about it. I gave you plenty of time to get over it. We all know it was a bad call. We saw it. We've watched it 10,000 times, okay?
Historically bad.
It's a historically bad call.
Yes.
It's not the end of the world. And guess what? You're not the only team to lose a big game on a bad call. Just look up bad calls, and then it'll make you feel better. You're not the only ones. It does get annoying. Okay, but so what? There's been other teams that have lost whole championships. Actual championship on the final play on calls. Yeah. Okay, you had and I hate to be cliche, but like you had the whole game. All right, you cannot look at it that way. Yes, it was a bad call. No, it's not Roger Goodell's fault. No, it's not a conspiracy. It's just a bad call. Get over it. It's always those people that are like, this horrible thing happened to me, and I would like you to feel bad for me for the rest of eternity. And then you're like, that is horrible. Like, totally feel bad for you. And then the next week, they're still talking about the same thing. And then 6 months later, they're still talking about it. And it's to the point where, like, you do realize you're not the only person who's had that happen to you.
I have faith, though, that the locker room is a little bit different than the echo chamber.
But here's my problem, and this is what I said earlier on the show. Here's my problem with it. The fans have to let it go, because if the fans keep this drumbeat, there's an energy, because they talk to the media about it. They're calling into the shows. They're tweeting about it. They're saying it to players when they see them walking around town. Then the media is asking them about it, and then you have to keep talking about it. Like, let it go.
Let it go. I'm so glad that song isn't popular anymore.
Let it go.
Don't do it. I'm trying to get it out. I gotta get it.
Can't hold it back anymore.
Am I ready to go? Can
we talk about Frozen 2 later?
No. What was it? No. Okay, wait, maybe. Saints may be cursed for real. That's all I got. The last two season ending catastrophic things. They might have some real bad voodoo juju on the team. They need to go get that cleaned out, but they might be cursed for real.
Yeah, sage that facility. Finally, in the NFC South, the Buccaneers, crazy conflicted. So Bruce Arians is a man. He has better hats than you. And
Shouts out.
you know, he's an innovator. He's progressive.
Yeah.
You know, he hired a couple women on his staff. Shout out to Jen Welter. You know, he hired her back in Arizona. I like him. I don't like Jameis. And by don't like Jameis, I mean I just don't. I find him to be an utter disappointment, and I don't think that he is going to develop into anything more. Even with Bruce Arians, which is just disappointing. Like, it's just disappointing. So I'm conflicted about them because I do want Bruce Arians to have success there. And I do think that the Buccaneers are a team that's traditionally really fun when they're good, but I just don't see it.
And you're not rooting for Jameis, are you? I don't want to be on wax talking about like who we are, but like he hasn't given us things to be like
rooting
blindly.
and not rooting for all kinds of teams and individuals. I'm not actively rooting against anyone. Like, I'm not rooting for someone to fail. I just don't see it. Like, I haven't seen enough from Jameis to believe that that's possible.
Right.
That's where I am right now, which is why I'm conflicted, because in order for Bruce Arians to have success, he is going to have to develop Jameis Winston and turn him into a franchise quarterback.
Yes.
Which he's not at this point.
Right. Buccaneers may be playing old school football this season. It's just based on Bruce Arians and the weapons they have. You have quarterback. You have all the tent poles that you need to just go out there and play I formation football. You know, 4 people on the line on defense. I just think it's going to be a reworking of the whole system because they need culture built back into that entire program. And I think Bruce Arians is like that's what he does. He makes football players.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
All right, NFC West. Cardinals, crazy expectations. I have no idea what to expect from Kyler Murray or Cliff Kingsbury, but I do know that if this is a failure, wow, is it going to be a failure of epic proportions. I don't want to get into the list of disasters that have occurred on the executive level from their GM and their drafting. I'll give you a short version. It's really bad. And it's kind of remarkable that you could stay in that position, drafting a quarterback in the top 10 in the draft, and then doing the same thing again the next year at a position like quarterback. That's an all-timer for me. Very puzzling. But nevertheless, here we are. Now you have Cliff Kingsbury and you have Kyler Murray, who, again, everyone forgot was short. I don't know how. But he's been short his whole life.
Yes.
And
he is how tall he is.
That's how tall he is.
Yeah.
All right. And he's not getting taller. That is what it is. So I personally don't see it with Kyler Murray. Like, eye test, whatever you want to call it, I don't see it. Could be wrong. That's why I want to see what happens. I don't want to make any prejudgments on it. I don't care about Cliff Kingsbury's offense or any of that.
You don't?
No, I don't, because I want to see it happen first. Like, I don't know what to expect. He could be a genius, and this is a Sean McVay situation, or it could be an utter disaster. I don't think it's going to be anywhere in between, though.
Yeah. My take is the Cardinals may be the Browns of last season, where it's a wild card. We're interested. We're watching a young player grow into his spot. The fact that they want to they said they want to play 90 offensive snaps a game, and that's just proof that they don't really care what the outcome is. It's more about getting Kyler comfortable and ready to make plays. I think the defense is going to be on the field a lot. Last year, they averaged 56 plays a game from offense. So this is a huge difference. I think pace is going to be a big part of it. It's just going to be a team that we're interested in, like we were the Browns last year, just like, what is this quarterback going to do?
Yeah. And he's the number 1 overall pick, so he should do something.
He should do something, yeah.
All right, the Rams, crazy strong. They win this division. I hated, obviously, the way that the season ended last year. Like, I think we were all rooting for the Rams in that spot.
Yes.
But
LA,
you have to grow into success.
Yes.
You know, there's no elevator to the top of success.
You have to get spanked by Bill Belichick.
Yeah, well, he scared him, which is fair because he seems like a scary guy to have to go up against. And and there's no shame in that. Like, it was a boring Super Bowl, as we know, but there's no shame in going to the Super Bowl and laying an egg against Bill Belichick. It's happened before. It's not the end of the world. They're going to come back and be great again. Jared Goff is a very good quarterback. Sean McVay is a great coach. They move some pieces around for sure, but they're still going to be good. They're still going to be in Super Bowl contention. And I like that they are continuing to have this level of success, which they will.
Jared Goff was good when Cooper Kupp was out there. When he got hurt, we didn't really see Jared Goff do much of anything else. But I think the Rams may be way worse than they were last year.
Way worse.
Ooh, way worse. I think however they exposed themselves in the Super Bowl. I think people are paying attention. The gusto into let's take a bunch of random parts and make a super team and just win that way. I think that air went out of the room when we watched the Super Bowl and how it went down. Todd Gurley was injured. I just don't see them putting it back together that quickly. I do think they'll be in contention later on down. Like, Sean McVay's a real coach, but this year is the down year. It's the Super Bowl hangover year.
I don't think they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. All right, 49ers, crazy overrated. Everyone is very high on the 49ers this year, and I would just like to wait and see. I just want to wait and see. Everyone just forgot Jimmy Garoppolo's played in like 2 NFL games his entire career.
Okay, it's 8, but yes.
But he was handsome in all 8.
Yes, and on the sideline.
And Kyle Shanahan, in the games that he coached, was also too handsome, so...
He's
championship.
Good-looking team. That's his team.
I don't.
Football.
I just.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't. I just want to wait and see. I think they're being dramatically overrated. Like everyone's like, this is the year the 49ers break through. Obviously, they're going to be better because Jimmy G is back. Like that's a given. But can we see a full season of Jimmy G, please? Like I know that I said he was a bust before because Bill Belichick got rid of him, and then we found out that Bill Belichick actually wanted him. So I backed off that, which is fine because I'm allowed to change my mind.
Of course.
But I just want to wait and see. I want to wait and see him in an entire season before I start making these predictions of the 49ers of the next dynasty.
Yeah, my takes, maybe they make the playoffs. Maybe the 49ers make the playoffs.
Maybe. Okay.
That's it.
The Seahawks finally are crazy sneaky. I don't know what to make of the Seahawks this year exactly yet, but I do know that Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson are always consistent, and I do think that they will make the playoffs. I don't think they are a Super Bowl contender, but I do think they're going to be good this year. And Russell Wilson is the most disrespected player in the entire league.
For reasons...
Whatever the reasons are, he is disrespected. Like his talent level is disrespected.
Yes.
His consistency is disrespected. His value to that team is disrespected. Like he is an elite top level quarterback, and we don't mention him in that circle that often.
Right.
It's always Andrew Luck. It's always Tom Brady. It's Aaron Rodgers. Patrick Mahomes, who are obviously should be in that conversation, but Russell Wilson has been very consistent and done a lot of winning.
Yeah, he was wearing that Ricky Ricardo. Remember I Love Lucy?
I don't want to get into anything. I don't want to get into anything non-football.
Okay, the take is the Seahawks may be good, but blah.
I don't think they're going to be blah this year.
Even when they won the Super Bowl, in my heart, I felt nothing.
What?
That
was
like,
such a fun team. They had the fun colors. I admit the novelty is worn off, but
yes, they do have
fun colors.
They did.
I mean, they are fun.
They're fun.
I do like the colors. And shout out to Seattle, 12th man. I love Seattle.
Yeah, I love Seattle.
But
all right, well that is our maybe our crazy or maybe. I thought we should have been maybe crazy, but I wanted to do crazy, so we switched it around.
I don't know, crazy. Maybe we did that thing.
We did.
It's time for high key, low key.
High key. Low key. High key. Melo is a hoops legend, and low key, he's getting played. Carmelo Anthony is not currently playing basketball for a team, but he would like to, and he would like his own tour. Now, that's at least what his trainer told the Breakfast Club. He thinks that he deserves a farewell tour.
In Syracuse?
All around the league. Damian Lillard agreed. He tweeted that, free Melo, basically. Shout out to TJ McCollum, by the way, who just signed a 3-year, $100 million contract extension, extending his current deal to 5 years and $157 million.
Good for him.
Friend of the podcast.
Shout out, friend of the podcast,
For
family.
Sure.
So Carmelo wants a farewell tour, similar to Wade and Dirk. And here's the thing about Melo. I think a lot of players have respect for Melo.
Yes.
And Carmelo Anthony he's a part of hoops culture.
For sure.
Right?
Because he gets buckets.
Yes. And then you have Hoodie Melo, and just there's a respect to Melo's ability to score. When you think of a mid-range jumper, I think of Carmelo Anthony. When you say that, I immediately think of Carmelo.
Right.
And there's something to that. And look, he did play 16 seasons, and he is 19th all-time on the scoring list. It's not like he's not and he's a Hall of Famer. Carmelo Anthony is going to be in the Hall of Fame. And now you can have your opinion of Basketball Hall of Fame, whatever you want to, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You can't compare Wade to Carmelo Anthony. You just can't. Wade's career far outshadows
same class
Carmelo Anthony. Yes, they're going to be compared. But if you do, Wade has 3 championships, a Finals MVP, 2-time All NBA. you can't compare them. You just can't.
Carmelo led the league in scoring 1 year.
Right, but this is my point. Like, I don't compare him to Wade, but I do hope that Carmelo ends up on a team next year, and we do get to see the end of Melo. I don't want the end of Melo's career to be his trainer saying that he deserves a farewell tour.
Or even the Hawks buying out his contract, and then he just...
Yeah, I don't need any of that. I want to see the end of Melo in an appropriate Melo fashion. Like, he's going to come off the bench, which he needs to understand. Like, he's not in that space anymore. And if he's willing to do that and be a part of a team, then that's what it is. Like, we know Melo hasn't really taken care of his body. We know he didn't evolve with the game. But there's a space for Melo in the league if he can do those things. And that's what I would like to see.
I think him watching Russell Westbrook and James Harden embrace the change that they need to embrace to win a championship could change how Melo sees himself in the whole landscape. Being out, the fact that Big Three was probably after him, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's think about who you are, where you are, and how you want to be played out. And it's not going to be a tour. We can't tour you out. We can't tour you out.
Well, it's not going to be a tour. No. That is true. It'll start to become a tour towards the end of the season, depending on what team he is with. Obviously,
last time in this stadium.
Yeah, but not the whole season. So high key, Zeke is in Cabo.
Yes.
Low key, why?
Yes.
I love Cabo. It is a wonderful vacation spot. Shout out to Edith's, but. Zeke needs to be here.
Yeah, Edith's
does not. Yeah, I mean, Edith is tremendous, right? I mean, tremendous. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Tremendous eats.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a restaurant right across. I can never remember the name of it, but it's literally right across from Edith's.
Good. Plan B.
Excellent. I mean, 1A.
Low-key, my ex-boyfriend was at Edith's on my bachelorette party.
Woo! Shouts out to ex-boyfriends and girlfriends.
High key awkward.
Shouts out to the exes. Thanks for the growth. Okay.
Okay, so Zeke is at Edith's and he needs to be here. Okay, that's where he needs to be. Like, you can't be in Cabo when training camp is going on. Okay, you can be in Cabo when you're on suspension. I was totally okay with that. It was like, go get zen, get away from the chaos. Like,
so he's back in Cabo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Waiting for a deal.
I think his agent owns a place there.
Yes.
So
Tulum, nothing else.
Cabo's excellent.
I know, but he was at Cabo last year when he was on suspension.
Yeah, that's literally what I just said.
I know, but it just dawned on me like, you don't want that on you.
Are you catching up to what I'm saying right now?
Yeah,
you're literally repeating what I'm saying.
It's smart. You're learning us.
Listen, he is in Cabo where he was on suspension last year. Yes, that's what's happening, and it's wrong. Like, he needs to be at camp. He's 2 years out from his contract. No one can ever accuse me of not wanting players to get paid. I am the ultimate pay the players person. Out of everyone, I'm probably in the media. I'm not even realistic about it. I just want everyone to make hundreds of millions of dollars because it doesn't affect me in any way. I'm not going to lose any money. And as long as you can structure your team where you pay the guys that are great, because you have to pay somebody. Like, you have enough money, and guys have to get paid. I understand the NFL salary cap is different than the NBA salary cap. I don't even understand the NBA salary cap. Like, is there salary cap? It doesn't
salary
seem like
caps in general.
Like there is a salary cap because you can pay to then go above the salary cap. The NFL is not like that. It's a hard cap. So it's very different structure. There's a lot more guys you have to pay. Zeke is not on my list of guys to pay. Like, I didn't even think this was a conversation that this year. Obviously, you have to pay Zeke, but this year it just made no sense to me. He needs to be at camp, and I don't think it's good optics to be in Cabo right now. Even though he's not there partying or hanging at Edith's, it's not good optics.
The fact is, he's not with the Cowboys, so there's no telling what he's doing, and that's the point of being at camp. So everybody knows what everybody's doing, and we know we're a team.
Well, he's
and we're
holding
doing
out.
it together.
It's not like he's just not at camp because he doesn't feel like going to camp.
But he's holding out within the we're talking about the same thing. Like, his contract, he has a contract for this year.
Yeah, it's 2 years out from his contract being up. I think he's going to play this year. Like, I don't think I don't think this holdout lasts. All right, and finally, high key, the Clippers are on the come up. Low key, everything brand new. So they're getting a new stadium in a couple of years. Like,
where's that supposed to be?
Englewood.
Oh, okay.
And it's beautiful.
Shouts out to the Wood.
Excellent facility. I love a nice arena. Obviously, I love,
nice things,
stadium antics. So a nice arena is just pleasant.
And you fell in the Staples last time you was there.
Oh my God, I ate it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the last time I was there, but I ate it hard. I thought I broke my hip.
Yeah.
Anyway, so aside from getting a new arena, Steve Ballmer has discussed possibly changing the Clippers' name, which I find very interesting. Now, the Clippers' name they were originally from Buffalo. So
Yes.
they were the Buffalo
What was that?
Braves. They were the Buffalo Braves.
Oh, yes,
And then they
yes.
moved to San Diego and became the San Diego Clippers for the ships that come through San Diego.
Shouts
Then
out.
they moved to LA and just kept the name.
Yeah.
Which no one really cares about because the Utah are called the Jazz,
Right. Yeah.
which makes no sense.
The Lakers are called the Lakers, and it was Minnesota, where the actual were lakes.
As far as I know, there's one lake here.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
LA Lake, and I probably wouldn't go in it.
And it was man-made, probably.
I don't know about that. But anyway, the point is, or is it LA River? I don't know. Point is, the only water we recognize out here is the ocean. All right. so that's it.
Facts.
But what would you change the LA Clippers name to? Now they're probably gonna change their logo also, which I'm all for because I don't really care about their logo, and I don't get excited.
What is their
I don't
logo?
go crazy about changing logos. The Dolphins have changed their logo like 50 times.
Yeah.
And they've all been better than the
I'm
last.
still getting it.
Yeah. Although I do have a thing for the original one.
The helmet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Dolphin with a helmet on.
But,
It's
but
fun.
you know, throwbacks are throwbacks for a reason, so
Right.
we don't have to wear those every day. But what would you change the name to if you were going to change the name? And I'm also on board with changing the name as long as it's good. Now, I heard some mention in his quote that it might be a sponsor-related name, which is the worst idea in the history of bad ideas.
Yes.
I hope they don't do this because I will put every drop of energy I ever have into wishing nothing but despair on the Clippers if
You
they
don't
do
like
that.
the LA
No, it took me a very long time to come around to the sponsor logos on the jerseys.
Yes.
I'm okay with the one small, tiny
Little, yes.
logo. If there's one more logo added, I might quit sports. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
This is in Europe.
It's just stop. All right,
Right.
it's enough. We don't need Sprite jerseys.
Right.
Although Sprite has become my new favorite soda.
Okay. Sprite lemon. Have you tried the
So
lemonade
refreshing.
Sprite?
No, I haven't. Okay,
got to.
I'm gonna look into it because
got to.
I'm all for Sprite, but just not on the jerseys. Anyway, the point is, don't make it. I don't want to watch the LA Geicos. So, what would
Yes.
you change the name to if you were to?
Well, I'm a Lakers fan. Shouts out to the Lakers, and they're going to do great things. I don't like the name Steve. It's the worst name ever. Steve. You can't even say it, Norm. Steve. So if they could become the LA
I
Steves.
have no problem with the name Steve.
If they become the LA Steves, that'd be great for me. Just
You
name it
want
after the owner, Steve Ballmer. Just the LA Steves. You're going to change something, put your face on it. You're crazy. Like some kind of crazy, like, yeah. Or the Bumbles.
All bad idea.
What?
So you're making a joke because of sponsors, because their sponsors Bumble.
Yeah, Bumble.
All right. So I have 3 suggestions. I think they're all great.
I thought both mine were great.
LA Traffic.
The traffic, looking for the chapstick. I'm about that. Okay, first time it was better than both of mine.
Okay. The LA Dream.
Okay.
Now I feel like there's another team called the WNBA has a team. Atlanta Dream, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we can discuss trading it because
Yes.
I felt like when I wrote it, I was like, I feel like there's already a team called the Dream. And
Yeah,
that's
not-
true. But it fits LA better, doesn't it? The LA Dream. It's a land of dreams. This is where people get their dreams come true. Disney,
We can switch,
Hollywood.
I would say if that's the case, you just switch Magics and because Dream's kind of soft. I'm just gonna say that to be rooting for the Dreams seems a little bit
It's not
unrealistic.
the dreams. And LA Culture.
Culture, KRC.
C, which could be problematic. It could be problematic now that I think
You know
about
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got hoods out here.
Yeah, okay, I didn't think that went all the way through. Loser
Power
power
rankings,
rankings, loser power rankings. These are the losers of the week. Okay, so LeBron is watching Bronny at his AAU game.
Yes.
And people are upset. Here's the thing. Nothing LeBron did bothered me. Now, if you ask me what my opinion of LeBron being in the layup line
Right.
is, I would say probably don't want to do that.
Do a little bit less.
Do a little bit less.
Right. Maybe 1.
Maybe 1% less.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with anything LeBron did. And I think this has gone to a level where it's like literally everything LeBron does gets criticized.
Right.
And he's a superstar. So that's what comes with it. So being upset that LeBron gets criticized for everything he does is kind of silly because that's what LeBron is. Like,
Yeah.
that's what all of life is now. Everyone has an opinion about everything that you do. And if you're a superstar, they're going to do that to the umpteenth degree.
Yes.
So I get it. Now, I also understand that if you've never been to an AAU game, then you don't understand the environment there.
The culture,
and
if you will.
The culture. And also, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? The whole thing with LeVar affected people the way it did because they've never seen LeVar before.
Right.
And while I will say LeVar is obviously unique in that he did create Big Baller Brand and he
Shouts
did
out.
take over planet Earth with everything that the Ball family is
Ball
and respect.
Family,
Right.
Facebook.
But yes,
JVA,
JVA. Like, yes. However, how many guys like LeVar do you know? Because I know lots. A whole bunch.
Yeah.
Grew up with them. Were coached by them.
Yep.
So this was not news and not dramatic for me. And anything LeBron is doing is not triggering me either.
Yeah, I think it's a reminder for everyone of how privileged LeBron is, because he can do whatever he wants to do, and he's earned that.
Right.
I think he's earned that. Like I have no qualms looking at LeBron do something and be like, oh, I can't do that. You know what I mean? But people, all the takes against it seem like the biggest take is, oh, I wish I could do that, and I can't.
That is kind of fair.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Like
LeBron should be able to...
you're not LeBron James.
No, you're not LeBron James.
Right. It's like when Mariah Carey does something and people are upset. Like, but that's Mariah Carey, and you're not LeBron.
She
you're
did
not Mariah
the
Carey.
bottle cap challenge singing.
That was not the note.
Something like it.
No, not even close. Don't disrespect the queen. All right. So today, the U.S. soccer president, Carlos Cordeiro, put a letter out there basically saying why he believes that the U.S. women's national team pay structure is fair and equitable. And he also included a fact sheet.
Don't add a fact sheet.
When I can summon up Austin Powers.
Don't do that.
Fact sheet. Okay.
Austin Powers. Whew. What a franchise.
What a franchise.
I
I
mean,
don't know if
Beyonce.
they hold up. Do they hold up?
Culturally, no, because they're pretty racist in
That's what I'm talking about.
creation, but it's still a good laugh.
Okay. Well, anyway, back to what we're talking about.
Right.
It's basically nonsense, and it's been refuted already. Some players on the U.S. Women's National Team have countered it, and the U.S. Men's National Team Player Association also put out a statement in support of the women's team, calling the letter false accounting. So basically, he just put a bunch of numbers together that aren't actually true, and they're not paid equally. It seems like the women have been paid more, but essentially they have just played a shit ton more games. So it's still not equal, and it's still not fair. And basically, they're going to see him in court. So
Woo!
that's how
Let's
that
do
works.
it.
Yeah. So that's not going to. It didn't go down as smoothly as he hoped when he put out the statement with the fact sheet.
Right.
Because other people also have alternative facts, aka the truth. So all this is going to end up in court, and then it'll get sorted out. But for everyone who's tweeting me about how wrong I am, I encourage you to read. It's fundamental.
Yes.
All right. Finally, all of us are losers because we don't play video games for a living.
Man.
So the Fortnite World Cup Finals had a $30 million prize pool. $30 million.
It's Dr. Evil.
16. I want one of those cats so bad. Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yeah.
16-year-old Kyle Giersdorf, also known as Booga,
Shouts out Boo.
or is it Bugga? Booga's better.
Yeah, Booga. I like Booga.
He won $3 million in the first place prize and title of the best Fortnite player in the world. He is from Pennsylvania. Shout out to Pennsylvania. I've got hair on me. Global revenues from esports and video game competitions will hit $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion. I'm done.
You gotta do the first read
Which
like
is up
that.
27% since last year. So basically, we all just picked the wrong sport. We picked the wrong profession.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the fact that the 16-year-old one kind of makes sense, because if you want to start playing video games for a living, you probably
Start young.
still live at home.
Yes. Yeah, because
Now, I don't know how it works with how you start immediately getting played in the video game
Right.
world, so I could be completely wrong about that. If that's so, please persecute me, because I am ignorant. But
I know someone who played Madden professionally, and there's just a cap on the money. You know what I mean? Like, you can go to so many competitions afterwards and pay your way there by winning, but you just, like, Madden had a tournament, and it was like, everybody was like, road rules was popular. It was like, get on the bus, we play Madden together, you play in New York City. Like, he came second place in that and won $30,000. He just bought a car. You know what I mean? He was 18 years old. Like, it's like, what else do you do?
okay, but this kid won $3 million.
Yeah, but
It's growing and exploding. It's only going to
Yes.
get bigger. All I'm saying is I wish that they had it when I was a kid, because, I mean, I tagged that ass in Tekken.
I was gonna say, what would you win money in? What game would you win
Tekken
money
for
in?
sure.
Tekken?
Nobody want to see me in
Who you
Tekken.
playing with?
Everyone.
Oh, she playing with everybody in Tekken.
All right, okay, fine. It's the Bruce Lee character. You know, like the backflip is unstoppable.
What is his name? Ken. It was Ken.
Was it?
Ken was the Bruce Lee character. I used to play with the bear. Kumu or Koko or Como. I don't know how to say it because it was Japanese. I don't know how to pronounce those things. You know what I
Well,
mean?
anyway.
Shouts out Tekken.
I used to take
Street
that
Fighter.
ass.
Street Fighter was.
Oh, Street Fighter's so good. All right, what's in the MIGOS Culture Report this week? Oh.
Jon Favreau, the director of the newest Lion King, answered questions that nobody needed answering. Oh, what if we made the Lion King with real lions? Or, oh, what if we remade the Lion King with terrible voice actors? Or, what if we remade the Lion King and instead of making the audience cry, we make them cringe? The newest Lion King felt like the heart and soul of Pride Rock was replaced with recognizable voices in very confusing episode of BBC's Planet Earth. If you haven't seen it, congratulations. Guess what Rotten Tomatoes gave it? Audience.
Audience rating?
Yeah.
Okay, just to be clear, the reason we're doing audience rating is 'cause I don't believe in the regular rating on Rotten Tomatoes because they're very wrong. But audience tends to be very accurate.
You saw it last night.
I saw it last night.
What do you think the audience gave it?
I'm going to go 40%.
Okay, stop. Think about the sheeple that is America. The people that put Trump in office. Like, no offense.
Okay.
But, like, what's the audience? It's higher. Think about how much money it made.
Okay. 70?
No, 88, which is egregious. Now, this is what the Rotten Tomatoes does right. Guess what the critics gave it? Because this is more accurate.
30.
53%.
What?
It was 2 points under the Aladdin movie, which I didn't see the Aladdin movie, but based on previews and doing Rotten Tomatoes off the previews,
100% better than Lion King.
I don't know. I ain't waste my time with the other one. But anyways, all right. That's what I said. What I got to say.
And Lion King was a complete remix.
Okay, but yeah. Like, can we get into we'll get into the review now?
Okay.
Because that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say about it.
I'm very emotional about this because I've been looking forward to this movie forever. All right.
That's your fault.
I love Lion King. It's probably my second favorite movie of all time behind Pulp Fiction.
My number one favorite movie of all time.
And here's the issue. Okay.
Sorry.
Here's the issue with Lion King. All right. I think everyone that was in the movie is incredibly talented. Everyone who's part of the movie was talented. I mean,
that's why they got chosen to be in the movie, though. No auditions, clearly.
Timon and Pumbaa saved the movie.
Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen, thanks you. I worked for Billy Eichner, Billy on the Street. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to Seth Rogen. Saved the movie.
Saved the movie. Saved the movie. Billy, star of the movie.
100%.
Okay.
Billy Eichner killed it.
There was not enough Rafiki.
No. Didn't even get a staff till it was time to fight. Don't even.
Okay.
Please continue.
Way too much hyenas. Why do I have all these talking hyenas?
Where are these people?
Why are there so many hyenas? Why are there so many hyenas?
What, the Queen Hyena just by herself?
I don't need all that time in paradise with Timon and Pumbaa. Although I needed it in this movie because they were the stars of the movie.
Right.
But why are we still here? Where's Nala? Why it took so long to get there? We're not even that far away. It felt like he just walked down the street.
Of all the scenes to take out, why leaving the one where they're running across the desert? That's the most confusing. That was confusing in the drawings.
Cross the desert?
What is this?
Here's my main issue with the movie.
At?
Here's my main issue with the movie. This is the problem. One, yes. Voices way too recognizable. Okay, I just felt like I was listening to Beyonce talk to me.
Okay.
One, two.
I like that.
It's too realistic. Like, it's obviously the visuals were incredible, but we have National Geographic for that. They do a great job.
Yes.
You know what National Geographic doesn't do a great job at? Pixar movies.
Yes.
That's why they just go get the real thing.
Y'all want to make
There's a whole continent of Africa that is beautiful, and they just go and get the actual video of actual Africa. Why didn't we? Where's the cartoon eyes? I have no facial expressions on the cartoon people.
There's no. I don't care about
animals.
any of these. Like, what is this?
I can't look. If the cat just moving its little cat mouth, I can't see the eyebrows move to know if Simba is sad or not. You can't relate to the characters because they don't have any facial expressions. And I'm sorry, you need those in cartoons.
Here, for the people who liked Lion King, here's our problem. Imagine going to see, Finding Nemo with this remix.
Fish.
Come on
with
now.
Actual fish.
Y'all want to see Dory? Where am I going? Like, and just see, and you just look like you're looking into a fish tank. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on?
42 Wallaby Way. What?
Why would I want? I don't want that. What am I? Why?
I don't want to be. I had plans on not being.
I know. Me
this
too.
Animated.
I know. Hey, y'all could have used some animation.
About my review of Lion King, I loved most of the music.
Don't get me
And
started.
there were moments where I felt nostalgic, and I loved Timon and Pumbaa. But overall, I just needed some cartoony facial expressions. Did you see the article that they put out there with some artists went back and like did the 3D version?
And I'm gonna send them to Donnie. We're gonna put them up on YouTube because it's side by side, and it made me more mad.
It didn't hurt
Just
me.
give them some eyes.
I just need the cartoon eyes.
Just give
And
them
I need
eyes.
the eyebrows too.
Eyebrows and eyebrows. Yeah. you
Because
need
they
that
go
too.
down, they look sad.
Yes. Yeah. What? Okay. The music. Be Prepared was my favorite song in
I
the
know.
Lion King. They wrote out some fake ass Broadway version of it. Then my favorite song, period, is the only rap song on there. Remember, it's like they said in the live bait, and then Timon in the real movie says, "What do you want us to dress and drag and do the hula?" And then he says, "Luau, are you hungry for a hunk baked juice meat? Eat my buddy Puma here because his treat. Come on down, dine on this crazy swine. All you gotta do is get in line. Oh, are you aching? Yep. For some bacon, yep. He's a big pig, yep. You can be a big pig too. Ooh, and they run off. That was out. That never happened. Didn't see it. It was sad.
Yes. That said,
Everybody's jarred by the rap song.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
kind of
just
surprised you remember that. But
Yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa were definitely, I mean,
I would say one point in time in high school, I was sick from school and I watched Lion King on subtitles and I wrote down every word to every song. That's just some stuff that I did when I was 17.
so you chose to do that instead of watching any of the 12 Rocky movies.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
All right, thanks for joining us this week for episode 99. Also, why did
Hey.
you rip off your thing so dramatically?
Just to grab people's attention.
You just felt, okay.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
Yeah. You gotta be the content you want to see sometimes.
Yeah, so we have a very exciting episode 100 coming up next week. Before that, though, make sure you check out Brandon's update, Brandon Newsman, on Friday morning.
Bam.
Thanks for joining us this week. Make sure you go and subscribe on YouTube at Maybe I'm Crazy Podcast. Follow Brandon Newman Show 99, myself, Joy Taylor Talks. And we will catch you on Friday and next week. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.